Okay, I'm in the studio today making some little gnomes, Santa Clauses, whatever you want to call them. I have one sitting around here. Oh, there it's dry. There it is. So this little guy here, you see not much to him, not much detail to him. There's a couple more on the drawing board there. So I'm going to try and set this in the camera tripod and get it to a point where you guys can watch me make one real quick. Hopefully this won't take too long. All right, there we go. So what I do is I throw a cone shape. It's just a cone on the potter's wheel here. These have been sitting in a damp cabinet for a few days, so they're kind of ucky looking. Anyway, normally I've got the bottom out of them. This one, for some reason, the bottom stayed in, so let's cut that out real quick. Because I threw these off the hump, so they're kind of heavy or thick on the side and bottom because I can't get them to get them off of the hump without trimming it or anything is not that easy. So I just kind of smooth the bottom out. I'm doing this as quickly as I can because you probably don't want to watch me do it for a half an hour or so. Anyway, so we got a basic little guy here with a bent top. I poke a hole in them while they're drying to let air get in them. And from this point on, you don't have to worry about that. Anyway, so I just take, I got little bits of clay everywhere here. You just grab a little handful of clay to start with, because everything from this point on is just an add-on. So, and this is a B-mix clay, which I don't have much trouble with it not sticking or, you know, having cracks or anything. I just glue it together with water. So we'll put a little ball on there for his hat, and we'll doctor that up a little bit in a minute. Put some detail on it. I just take a trimming tool. I don't know what this is, what number it is or whatever. And I figure out where I want his hat. And I carve, get out. This is where his face will be in the hat. And this is really sticky clay. So anyway, so I'll clean this up a little bit. Got the door open in the studio, so neighbor just came home. Anyway, so now we've got his hat carved out, or his face kind of carved out of the hat. We removed a little bit of clay to give him a place for his face. Take a sponge and kind of smooth all this out. This is not leather hard by any stretch. It's actually kind of soft to be working with, because it'd be nicer if it was a little bit more set up. Oh, I do put a little stamp I put inside here. Get turned around the right way so that at least they knew what studio it came from. Anyway, so that's step number 2. What am I putting on here? Oh yeah. Next step is I make a nose. And to do that, I just make a ball. And it's kind of an egg shape. Think about what a nose looks like. It's kind of a half an egg. So I take a knife here and cut the back of that off. And there's his nose. And then I just kind of push it however I want it. So there's this, oops, was his nose. I kind of boogered that up. Okay, so we got a nose shape here. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to put a little water on here. And I'm going to pick my nose up. Pick my nose. Anyway, stick it on there. Where are we? Stick it on there. And we need a beard. It's all done with the same ball of clay. I get a ball of clay like that. Kind of roll it out one way, flip it over, roll it the other way. I got a little teeny slab here. And I just kind of figure out how that's going to go on there so it looks pretty good like that. So peel that off. Score underneath here a little bit because this is a pretty good sized chunk of clay. Put a little water on it. This is a cement board that I'm working with here. It absorbs water like crazy, so I use it for a towel a lot. So there's my beard. It's kind of stuck on there. And I take a needle tool and just shape it. Pull off the excess. Look at what I've done. Push the edges in. Seal up the bottom of it. Okay, so it doesn't look much like a beard yet, but it will. Okay, so now we got to figure out where his mouth should be, which looks like right there. This is a little, I don't know what these tools are for actually. Anyway, I just put a mouth in there like that. I usually make him a mustache and a lower lip. So I'm going as maybe I'm going too fast. I don't know, but anyway. So if you can see what I'm doing, I got 2 fingers on a little teeny ball of clay here, and I'm gonna roll it out into a sausage shape like that. That'll be his mustache. So I put a little water on the top up here. Stick his mustache on there. And all this is just done, you know, by eye, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. And I got a little teeny ball of clay here. And I manipulate that into oblong sausage shape, I guess. And I set them on here first to see if they're going to be size-wise, they're going to work. See, my mustache looks like it's too small. So no harm done there. We'll just remove it, and I'll make it a little bit longer. There we go. There's still water on there, so we'll put that up there. More making sure all this stuff gets put on in the right location. Put a little water on the lower lip there, stick his lip on, and the object here is to get the corners, this sounds crazy, get the corners of his lower lip to kind of press up so that it looks like a lower lip and not a sausage on his face. These crazy tools, which I think I got from a online store that was associated with, oh hell, it was associated with Amazon. So anyway, so I just go around with these ball tools. I think they came with these things too. So they have little rubber silicone tabs on the end of them, and they work great for kind of pushing clay around. All right, so here's how I do a beard. I just create squiggle lines with this little rubber tool. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. Believe it or not, that it comes out pretty much looking like hair. And he's got his mustache, so I always start in the middle, create a thing, and then give him some mustache hair, or give his mustache some hair. Try to make both sides equal. All right, so there's the initial face. So now we're just going to put some decorations on him. I usually put a little poofy stuff around the edges, or be like fur on a hat. Eskimos, Native American Eskimo hat. So put some water along the edge here. This B-Mix is wonderful to work with, by the way. So I just set that on the edge and kind of push it into place, and then we'll manipulate it a little bit more. But this is just to get it attached. Then I go around with my finger and my thumb and press it into place. Again, these were just cones I threw off a hump on the wheel. So they're just kind of cruddy inside. But anyway, so there he is, and we're going to put some hair on that. I've done these little fur things several different ways, but anyway, so then I just go around the edge and give the fur some little bit different look. I'm going as quickly as I can here. I may end up going back and kind of fixing this guy up because I'm going pretty quick. And I usually take a little bit more time than this. All right, so now he's got a little fur around his face on his hat. All right, so I usually, you end up putting some fingerprints and stuff on there, so I usually go over the whole thing with a paintbrush and kind of soften up some of the tool marks. So there, that guy, I need to doctor up his hat a little bit. The little fur ball on top of the hat. So we're gonna add some little there's all kinds of ways to, I don't know if you're seeing this. Anyway, all kinds of ways to do this. Today, this is the way I'm doing it. The object is to get this made and sat down before you get a bunch of handprints in it, or fingerprints and other things. Okay, so now he's got a little furry ball on top. I take a sponge, and I got all kinds of stamps I've made. Today, when I went through the stamp thing, I remembered I had a couple of wooden stamps. This is a flower stamp. So if I wet, even though this is pretty well set up, if I wet this clay, I can kind of work the stamp in. It's set up an awful lot to be using this stamp, but gives this hat a little bit of charm. So you can see it's a little bit set up to be stamping, but it'll show up through the glaze, and that's all we need it for. All right, so there we go. Our little gnome is complete. We got stamped the hat, and hopefully you can see that start to finish. I don't know what that was. 18 minutes on the video. So there we go. Have any comments? I'd like for you to post them. Maybe this is a dumb idea. I don't know. People seem to buy them, so I guess that's the thing. And my family likes them at Christmas, so I always hand out a couple of them to my family. So anyway, there we have it. One gnome. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I can always use a thumbs up. And I'll talk to you soon.